Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. NATO's chief says its allies need to step up their military aid for Ukraine to strengthen Kyiv's position should it enter negotiations with Moscow over an end to the war. Mark Rutte was speaking ahead of a meeting of the alliance's foreign ministers. He told reporters that strengthening NATO's military support will allow Ukraine to have a stronger hand at the negotiating table. According to Rutte, NATO will also step up intelligence sharing and improve the protection of critical infrastructure in the face of Russia's hostile acts of sabotage against allies.
Ukraine is entering another crucial winter, and Russia's aggression shows no sign of abating. Just the opposite. Putin is ramping up his rhetoric and reckless actions. He is using Ukraine as a testing ground for experimental missiles and is deploying North Korean soldiers in this illegal war.
Syria's military has said its joint airstrikes with Russia have killed at least 400 insurgents over the past 24 hours, as Vladimir Putin reaffirmed his support for Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Syria's opposition-run White Helmets Rescue Service said on Monday that at least 25 people, including 10 children, have been killed in airstrikes carried out by the Syrian government and Russia. The strikes are being carried out after insurgents led by jihadi group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and including Turkish-backed fighters launched a two-pronged attack on Aleppo, Syria's second-largest city. Vietnamese property tycoon Trong My Lan has lost her appeal against her death sentence for masterminding the world's biggest bank fraud. The 68-year-old is now in a race for her life because the law in Vietnam states that if she can pay back 75% of what she took, her sentence will be commuted to life imprisonment. It was a rare and shocking verdict. She is one of very few women in Vietnam to be sentenced to death for a white-collar crime. The government says at least 56 people are now known to have been killed in a crush at a football match in Guinea's second-largest city. That death toll is disputed, though, by many in the country who believe the true number of dead is closer to 100. Some reports indicate that events unravelled following a decision by the referee, who sent off 2 players from the visiting team Labe and awarded a controversial penalty kick. An inquiry is being launched to find those responsible.
Hi, everyone.
Tesla chief executive Elon Musk's record-breaking $56 billion pay award will not be reinstated, a judge has ruled. The decision in the Delaware court comes after months of legal wrangling and despite it being approved by shareholders and directors in the summer. Judge Kathleen McCormick upheld her previous decision from January, in which she argued that board members were too heavily influenced by Mr. Musk. Tesla vowed to appeal against the ruling, saying the decision was wrong. President-elect Donald Trump is set to attend the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral that was partially destroyed by fire in 2019.
N'oubliez jamais que vous avez réparé.
Last week, French President Emmanuel Macron thanked more than 1,000 craftspeople who helped rebuild Paris's famous landmark in what he called the project of the century. The Gothic masterpiece was partially destroyed by fire 5.5 years ago. Mr. Trump wrote, "It is an honor to announce that I will be traveling to Paris, France on Saturday to attend the reopening of the magnificent and historic Notre Dame Cathedral." And a gingerbread recreation of a Hungarian village has been unveiled by locals ahead of Christmas, featuring models of 100 houses as well as local businesses, churches and the mayor's office. Housed in a heritage centre for the Slovak minority in the village of Kusmor, the village also features details such as a working train, church windows made of crushed candy, and lampposts also modelled in gingerbread with LED lights. The shopping list for the gingerbread village included 70 kilos of flour, 20 kilos of icing sugar, and 220 eggs. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.